This week on Ask Show, the Runback, Apex Legends offers a new arena mode. The developers behind Dying Light 2 give their very first AMA. Sony has a lot to say about Ratchet and Clank and their upcoming state of play. Is NetherRealm Studio working on a Marvel fighting game? All signs point to Starfield from Bethesda launching exclusively on the Xbox this year. And Google Stadia finally gets a search bar. Yo, it's a light week on the Runback, but let's run it back anyway. I was a huge fan of Dying Light 1. It is probably the best open world zombie game out there, except for the nighttime missions. I couldn't rock with it, sorry. Those zombies at night were unrelenting. They were like little Terminators. They hunted you down. There was no place that felt safe at night. You couldn't find a way to the rooftop or find a way to a safe zone. You were dead. So after much anticipation, Dying Light 2 is on the way, and the developers did an AMA answering some big questions about what to expect from the game.
So this is something we have said before. It's about double the size of all of the maps from Dying Light 1 combined. But that's a simple answer which doesn't take into account the verticality of the world.
Timon Smektala, the lead designer of Dying Light 2, said that the map of the area that you'll be exploring in the game is 2 times the size of the combined maps of Dying Light 1. So the area that you'll traverse in this game is massive. If you take all the DLC, combine it together, it is twice the size of that. Another big thing they cleared up is that the same rules apply in Dying Light 2 as in Dying Light 1, meaning daytime is for humans, nights are for the infected. Now, you will encounter some infected during the day, he clears up, but for the most part, the nighttime is where you have to really watch yourself because that's when it's going to be a completely different game. There are still no firearms in Dying Light 2. However, there will be one handmade shotgun with very limited capability, but it will be very powerful. Also, no vehicles. They want to stick with the really impressive traversal system that was in the first game. You will still be doing parkour. You will still be using the modified grappling hook with a new physics engine. So the developer likened it to less like Spider-Man and more like Tarzan. So there's going to be more weight and physics as you swing through the city. So it's not going to be able to instantly get you out of every situation. You won't be able to fly through the whole city, but it will be very fun to use. Be prepared to do a lot of running and walking. Last week was a huge week for Sony with previews of Returnal hitting all the major media outlets. I don't have a PS5 yet, so I don't have Returnal, but if you've been watching Kind of Funny Games, young Blessing Adeoye Jr. gave a fantastic preview of the game where he goes in depth into the feel and look of the game, and frankly, it looks fantastic. Game developer David Jaffe on his channel said that the game is too hardcore to be a hit. I don't know, do you guys think he's right? The game looks like a lot of fun. It reminds me of a roguelite meets a Soulsborne. It looks incredible, but does the market have room for this type of game? Or at least, does it have room for this type of game to be mainstream? Let me know what you guys think in the comments. But that wasn't all the Sony news this week. Sony surprised everybody with an announcement of a state of play for a full 30 minutes on Ratchet and Clank. Of course, there's going to be 2 other indie games they talk about there too, but the main focus of the showcase is for Ratchet and Clank. So if you weren't already anticipating this game before, here's 30 more minutes of in-depth footage to show you why you need to get this game ASAP, I guess, because there's so much to get on the PS5 right now. A couple of loose ends from last week that I didn't get a chance to cover because I'm late to the video this week. Apex Legends announced an arena mode. I just started playing Apex not that long ago. The arena mode looks amazing. It's 3 versus 3 in small combat arenas. Valkyrie is the brand new legendary character that they're tying to the game from Titanfall. Don't know if this is how you wanted your Titanfall, but this looks like how you're going to get Titanfall for the foreseeable future. I actually don't think that's a bad thing. I think that's kind of cool. As long as we get more lore and eventually mechs, I can wait for Titanfall 3. Google Stadia for the hundreds of people like me who love the service and nobody else. We finally get a search bar, yay. Now we can search for games, yay, in the Google store. There's maybe 100 games. I don't even know where to begin with this next news. NetherRealm Studio might be doing a Marvel fighting game. Let's just rip that whole ridiculousness apart. No, I doubt it, but let's play with it. Apparently, a leaker or rumor hit the web that NetherRealm Studio could be working on a major Marvel fighting game based around Civil War. Now, while I don't know if I'd want to, well, I don't know, maybe I would want to see that. The Mortal Kombat story mode was still fantastic. I love Mortal Kombat 11. I don't like the fighting game itself, but I will endure it because I really enjoy the story mode, and the DLC is awesome. So the idea of that production level going to a Marvel game is really appealing, but the likelihood of that is about zero. For starters, NetherRealm is owned by WB. WB is part of DC Comics. There is no way in the world that DC, WB, is going to put resources into a Marvel-based fighting game that they wouldn't put into their own. So I think that's pretty much the end of that rumor. The big rumor for this week, though, is that Bethesda will probably be releasing Starfield, their big Oblivion-level sci-fi open universe game, this year. And you can probably assume that's exclusive to Xbox One, Series S, and X. That's a big deal. That's a very, very, very big deal. Now, I know Microsoft said that they're going to honor previous contracts when releasing big budget games. So in that sense, we may get Starfield on PlayStation hardware. Stranger things have happened, but frankly, I don't think so. If Halo Infinite comes out this year, and Starfield also comes out this year, and whatever else Microsoft has lined up between Xbox Game Pass and things that we'll find out about during E3, this is going to be a tremendous holiday season for Microsoft. If you don't own an Xbox Series S or X, now's probably the time to think about getting one. Anyway, for more detailed speculation about why Starfield may be coming out on Xbox exclusively this year, I would encourage you to go check out Destin's channel. He does a far more comprehensive breakdown about why, and I'm not going to steal his thunder, so check his channel out. But in the meantime, that was a very short, brief recap for the week. I'll be back tomorrow with new content. Check it out. In the meantime, tell me what you think. Do you think Starfield's coming out this year for the Xbox? Is Returnal too hardcore to be a mainstream hit? You can always find the Runback as well as my continued commentary and analysis on the gaming and tech industries right here on Ask Joe. Peace.